friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you about costs for self-publishing. So I often get the question, well, how much does it cost to self-publish? And truly, there is no one definitive answer to this. So today I'm going to break down the costs that I think are essential, and pretty much if I'm not listing it, I don't think it's an essential cost for you. So for anybody who's starting out, you haven't even finished your first book or you just finished it, you have barely any budget to spend on this because you haven't made anything from it yet, I want to be able to point out to you what I think are the really important things where you should spend, so that way you have an understanding before you get bombarded with a million ads on Facebook and everywhere else for things you can spend your money on. Some of them may be worth it, some of it probably isn't. So I want to make sure I'm giving you my experience from what I invested in and what was beneficial to me. I heard a quote on a podcast and it really resonated with me. So the quote was, do you want to have a business or do you want to have what looks like a business? So for me, I treat my writing like a business. So that means every single cost has to make a return. But there are some costs that can be avoided. So here are the ones that I think that you can spend on, and some where I think you might just need to be careful. So technically you can publish for $0. You can write something, use the free ISBN from KDP, use their cover generator, and hit publish. You would be done. But here are my recommendations for what you want to be spending on. So the first is the ISBN. So this is the social security number for your book. If you are doing all of the work of self-publishing, you should own the ISBN. And when somebody else gives you a free ISBN, they're not giving it to you. They own that ISBN and therefore they become the publisher. But I thought I was self-publishing. Well, somebody else is your publisher. So I think you should definitely spend the money on the ISBN. It absolutely makes sense for me, and I think it is the most important part of you being a self-publisher. The second is for editing. So the scope and the extent of the editing are going to determine the cost here. So I really can't give you a hard and fast number for how much this is going to cost. If your book isn't edited, the reviews won't lie. They just won't. So the worst thing you can do is spend years working on your book, typing the end, and then hitting publish and get blasted on your reviews. Writing the book's only the first step. Now you may be able to, okay, so the next thing that I think that you should spend on is design. Now with design, you get what you pay for, and people absolutely judge books by their cover. That's the reason why it is a saying. There's a reason why there's so much that goes into designing your cover. That's the first thing somebody sees. It has to catch their eye. So the design is very important. So a few things that I think you don't need to spend on. So one is formatting. So you can figure it out. Sometimes you will get into a bind and a total headache and you'll think, oh my gosh, I just want to throw this computer, why isn't this working? But for the most part, you can absolutely figure it out. So if you just have text in your book, if you don't have images, if you don't have graphics or illustrations, it's very simple, and there are some free softwares that you can get where you can just format it. May take a few tries, but you can absolutely do it. There are services out there that will format your book for you. Now, if you are busy and you think, you know what, I could struggle with this for a few hours, or I could pay somebody else to get it done for me, that may absolutely be an investment that's worth your time. So I've seen several of these services out there that charge anywhere between $60 and $100. If you're paying more than that for formatting in a text-only book, you overpaid. Now, if you have design elements, graphs, things like that, yeah, you're gonna need to pay more for your formatting. But if it is text only, you really should not be paying more than $100 to get your book formatted. That's just my opinion, but if you're gonna hire a professional, that's a price point that I would look for. So if you have found this information helpful, if you were going through trying to figure out, these costs are gonna add up, what should I spend on? Please give this video a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell. So that lets YouTube know that you found this information helpful and it gets in front of other authors like us. So again, please let me know if there's any cost that you think maybe I left out, or if there's anything that you're considering spending on. Let me know what it is in the comments and I can write back with my feedback of whether I think that's worth it or not, at least based on my experience. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and now you can get back to writing your book.